none of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. F9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number one?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking. You shouldn't be talking at this point.
Welcome back, everybody, to Apocaflix Movies and Apocaflix Now. That intro gets me every time. Brian, thank you so much for that sound bite. Hope everyone is doing great out there. Welcome back. It's Tuesday. We took last week off. We've all been getting pretty busy here, so why not take a breather every once in a while? We're catching back up. We got some Werewolf by Night tonight, and perfect timing because we have a brand new trailer for Creed 3 that we're going to be talking about as well, on top of catching back up on the movie watching challenge, which, if you can notice, Brian is quickly trying to get that all together.
I literally had it, but then I accidentally hit the close button. Now
Fail.
Wow.
I hit the back button. Now I have to do it again.
Well, while Brian tries to get himself together, Mr. Gio Ramos, it's DC week, my man. How you doing?
Shit, all hell's about to break loose, man. I'm already seeing it on social media. Jesus Christ.
Be positive for once, Gio.
You know me, I'm over positive when it comes to DC stuff. I'm doing good. I have an Instacart order coming in about 20 minutes, which some much needed beer. So I'm kind of just waiting for that, and it's been a hell of a last 3 work days. I mean, just so insanely busy. And tonight begins a 6-day off from work.
Wow.
I phrased that hella weird. I'm so fucking tired right now.
Yeah, that makes no sense. A 6-day off from, like, you've had 6 straight days off?
I'm gonna have 6 days off. I don't want to call it a vacation because, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just getting away from work.
So what you're saying is, if the trailers drop, Gio, you're the man.
There we go.
Pretty much. Well, I do have a wedding right in the middle that I'm the best man. So, like, it depends.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. And, get that beer, insider. Shit. By the way, no, I was in the chat. Okay, I know there's things that are showing up on social media regarding Black Adam and whatnot. Just be respectful, please. Don't spoil anything or hint at anything.
Yeah,
okay?
he means for me.
It's
honestly.
way past spoilers. It was spoiled by the lead of the movie.
Hey, my Twitter notifications are off. All right, so I haven't seen anything.
That might not, bro. I swear, if we go to the theater for Black Adam on Thursday and there are people dressed in certain costumes and whatnot, then
I mean,
are they going to be wearing
but
DC costumes anyway? Like,
yeah, but like the lead actor of the movie basically spoiled. Anyway. Mr. Bartley, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, as much as I try to avoid that stuff, unfortunately, I've seen it too. Not gonna lie. But yeah, what can you do this day? It's very difficult.
And Jacob got spoiled.
Yeah, it's a tragedy, right? I got spoiled. I hate it.
Jacob never gets spoiled.
Fine. I'm still trying to go into it with an open mind. But yeah, that's 2 days away from now. So looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well. It's exciting times. It's my favorite time of year, the Halloween season. This
is your favorite time of the year?
It's my favorite time of year. Well, yes, like September and October are my favorite time of year. The weather, football, Halloween, scary movies. Like, it's such
postseason baseball, the biggest thing, you doofus.
Yes, postseason baseball. I guess basketball now. Like,
Who cares about basketball?
so like,
Yeah, basketball.
I don't
started
know.
today.
Lakers play tonight. Let's go. They're gonna get their butts
Nobody
whooped by the
cares.
Warriors.
Nobody cares
Yeah.
about basketball.
They definitely are. But yeah, I'm good to go.
Brian, are you caught back up?
I am ready to go.
How you doing?
Good.
Say
Yeah.
one thing. Why are you good?
I was just checking out. I was actually seeing what time the Warriors game started.
It's right. It's like right now.
It's at 7. Yeah.
It's at 7.
It's all good. I got it recorded, Brian. Don't
No,
worry.
you're fine. Gio, the Celtics won, so there you go.
Yeah, and hopefully Draymond Green doesn't punch anybody. So
Yeah, well, you can't guarantee everything.
Speaking of sports, I wanted to bring something up. I was watching the playoff game earlier. I still am the baseball game. And I didn't know that they were doing this until now, which I guess they've been doing it in all the postseason, and maybe they did it in the regular season. I'm not sure. But how do you guys feel about reporters inside the dugout interviewing players during the game? Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, Bryce Harper hit a home run to in like the second or third inning, 1-0 Phillies, and Ken Rosenthal, a big-time reporter for Fox, was inside the dugout like 2 minutes after he hit the home run, interviewing him. Like 2 questions, it's quick, but he's still inside the dugout in the middle of the game interviewing the player.
I don't like it.
How do we feel about
It's a
that?
little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, in football, they interview the coach on the sideline.
Halftime, though.
True.
and at the end of
point,
quarters.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's a good
not
point,
not
yeah.
literally while your teammate is up to bat right now.
Yeah, that exactly. And even in basketball, it's always after the quarter ends or something like, or during a timeout, right? It's
Yeah.
never like during a
Yeah.
game. That's like they're playing and they're interviewing the coach on the sideline. Like,
Yeah.
That's the
totally
diff-
makes sense,
that's a very awkward thing and a very distracting thing, especially for a playoff game. But I mean, could it be because they just want to have more engagement and just
Oh,
make
100%. I think
the game a little more exciting?
Probably. I mean, we've seen the players be on the headsets in the middle of innings, but those are always players who aren't playing.
Yeah,
Like this is a superstar player who literally walked off the field just hitting a home run and he's going to the microphone. Like that's a little weird.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Just wanted
mean,
to bring it up. We're all sports people, so I wanted to ask.
just get Snoop Dogg to commentate all the games. And, if you guys have seen it,
The
he's
baseball
so entertaining.
games.
pretty funny.
He's entertaining.
All right, let's get the show rolling. We're catching back up, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. So, as we do each week here on Apocaflix Now, we start the show off with a little thing here called the Movie Watching Challenge.
Boom,
That was the weakest soundbite I've ever heard in my life, Brian.
And then did
Ever.
Gio add like a Man of Steel soundbite at the end?
He
of
added
that?
something. I don't know what the
Oh,
hell.
I said my usual dun dun.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it
could've
kind of
sworn
sounds.
there was
I mean,
like
now that you said it,
like the Man of Steel.
Anyway, I
It's
feel like I'm
okay.
going to be
Hey,
saying that.
how about a
lot
real
tonight.
soundbite? There we go.
Brian is supposed to be the real soundbite, but he did a really boring job. Last time that we did this little segment, which was 2 weeks ago, Brian got challenged to watch a movie called Zodiac, the David Fincher film that starred Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., among many other great actors and actresses, about the Zodiac Killer. And so he watched it. He's going to review it. We're going to talk about it. And then he's going to challenge someone on the next part of this segment. So, Brian, take it away. What did you think of Zodiac?
I thought it was good.
What?
Oh wow.
That's reassuring.
The first hour,
I'm pretty sure I said Brian was not going to like this movie because it's so
I didn't-
slow.
I didn't not like it. The first hour, I was super into it. Then I started to get a little bit like not bored, but like the fact
You
that
lost
you know-
interest.
well, so my problem is obviously I know how it's going to end. He's not going to figure it out, right? It's an unsolved crime.
What if it was a different ending? Hypothetical.
No. So like knowing that, so like them kind of like him like finding out something like, oh my god, I think I figured it out, and and I'm like, well, you're not going to figure it out because it's still unsolved today. Like that kind of like,
How do you watch movies? Like how? I don't get it. I just
Like-
don't get it.
no, don't get me wrong. Like Jake
I'm
Jones.
never watching a true story movie with you ever again, Brian. Ever.
Well, let's just hope I don't know like the actual ending and the story of it and stuff. I mean, it was great. Robert Downey Jr. was hilarious, and just so on par with how he is. Jake Gyllenhaal is always great. He's always like super intense. Like, he
This was
definitely,
before he became like the Jake Gyllenhaal too.
yeah. So I mean, he was great. Who's the other one? I'm forgetting. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
was-
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, yeah.
he wasn't in it really like a crazy amount for me to be like invested in his character as much as like Robert Downey Jr. and I mean, the movie was led by Jake Gyllenhaal, like, and that was clear as day, because Downey, like the last 40% of the movie wasn't even in it. But yeah, it was good. I just wish, I mean, I know you can't, obviously, that's not how it was. I just kind of wish the like pace, how it started off. Like, I mean, I literally like, there were a couple times like was like jumping and at certain things and whatnot. So like that kind of like got the adrenaline going, and then it just kind of like tapers a little bit and then just kind of like keeps at this one speed. So that kind of hit me towards the end. It was good. I'm not saying it was a bad movie by any means. Was I like, oh my god, when is this going to be done? But it just wasn't like, I'm not going to go out and buy the movie. So, but yeah.
No, I kind of
Interesting.
see. I kind of see what you mean, Brian. I mean, like it's been a while since I've seen the movie. I will say there are parts where it does drag a little bit, like, and it's more of a preference thing, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, in no way was it like The Post, where I was just like, "Oh my god, movie is
The Post is a great movie, but
thing."
anyway.
I'm sure
It
it
is.
is, but I was so bored. No, the beginning. I mean, the beginning was the first hour. I was just like, just glued to it, and then it just kind of mellow. It doesn't mellow out, but the killer's not there, and so it's just kind of like, yeah, it was good though.
I'm curious. I'm gonna name off some movies, Brian. I am curious if you've seen these movies. So let me go ahead and name these off. Fight Club,
Yes.
7.
I
It's a
saw
yes
it.
or no answer.
Well, I saw it a very long time ago to the point where I almost don't want to count it.
Okay. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button,
No.
Social Network,
Yes.
Gone Girl,
Yes.
Panic Room,
Yes. A very long time ago, but yes, I'll count that. Yes, because I know.
Okay, so you've seen. I was curious if you had seen David Fincher movies. So you have. That's why I was asking. Those are all David Fincher movies. That's why I was asking those questions. I was curious if this was like one of your first experiences with a David Fincher movie, because he tends to tell these types of stories where they're a little bit slower in pace. Like, even though Fight Club is very crazy, it can also be pretty slow at times.
I wouldn't.
The Social
Wrong.
Network, obviously. 7, it's a kind of mystery thriller. I mean, I didn't even mention what was the other one I didn't even mention for his
Mank? I
Um,
don't know.
well, Mank, but the girl with the dragon tattoo. I didn't even mention that.
Oh
one.
yeah,
I haven't seen.
Like,
Mhm.
that one is really slow, right?
even
So-
Gone Girl has some slow parts in the middle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
drags a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Curious.
No, that was
Uh-oh.
I was thinking that too, Jake. I was wondering. I was gonna ask Brian what his favorite David Fincher movie is. I think it's still a fair question.
I'm gonna say The Social Network, probably.
Maybe.
That or Fight Club. Fight Club was just
Okay.
because Any type of movie where there's like a oh my god at the end of it, like that you didn't see coming, will always like I will always love. So like Shutter Island that did that to me. Fight Club did that to me. I mean, even Gone Girl kind of did that.
It does it in the middle, kind of.
It has a couple of those moments.
So like anything like that. I mean, I own The Social Network, so clearly I liked that one at some point. The most probably because I don't own any other of the ones we named, but honestly, probably a coin toss between Social Network and Fight Club. Fight Club, I almost feel like you have to be in the right mental space to watch that sometimes. Like,
put that bad boy on and enjoy.
I think like
enjoy the chaos.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I just think like the more like mental health type stuff, kind of if it's like, oof, that's tough.
Throw my mental health away and let me enjoy a movie. Anyway, Brian, let's go ahead and get to the next part of this. Do you have a wheel ready?
I do have a wheel ready.
All right, bring that bad boy up and go ahead and announce who you're going to challenge and what you are challenging them to.
Okay, so I am going to challenge Mr. Berlin because it has been a while.
No, it hasn't. Damn it.
No, yes, it has. It's been at least like 3 or 4 weeks.
No, it hasn't.
I mean, if you count the week that we missed, sure.
It was literally
I've seen Manchester by the Sea.
I thought you did.
Well, wait, wasn't Gio before Brian? And then it was me, right?
No, and then
I challenged Gio.
I've been challenged twice in the last 3 times.
Yeah.
So
the worst week to go with.
Oh, Jake watched what's it called? There Will Be Blood. That was recently.
There Will Be Blood, yeah. Just go and pick a 4th, Brian.
That's what I'm doing.
Or you can give a bigger chance to Wild. It's up to you.
Sure, let's just
the
do
Reese
that.
Witherspoon one, right?
I'll do that.
Yeah. We'll just put Reese Witherspoon's Wild in place of that. Put 2 Wilds on there.
Wait, have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, there you go. It works. There you go.
We'll make it a.
So there's 2 Wilds on the wheel. I'm joking. I'm joking, Brian.
Oh, okay, I was confused. Okay, ready? Here we go. Why do I always get the ones I least want you to watch? And Geo and all that.
I don't really know much about Requiem for a Dream. It's like the worst week for me to watch a movie this week. I'm gonna try.
In the year 2000.
Who's in it, Jacob? Who's in it?
Your favorite, Jared Leto.
Oh, God damn it.
Jennifer Connelly's
Ellen Bernstein.
Jennifer Connelly's in it? Sold. I'm good.
Yeah,
If Jennifer Connelly's in it,
Connelly.
I'm good. I'm going to go on a Jennifer Connelly binge fest after this movie. No, look, I'm always excited to watch a new movie. It's obviously a movie that has always popped up on some type of streaming service, or like you should watch next, or people own this. So I'm never against trying something new. And the reason why I was saying it's a rough week because I started my new job this week, so I'm like slammed with all this different stuff. So I'll be doing my best.
I thought you watched movies in the shower, Jake. Come on.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I have one of those wall stickies. It's a clear case. I put my phone in and I watch a movie while I shower. You're right.
Hey, it's Darren Aronofsky. I just looked that up.
I hate Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, that's right. He directed Mother.
I hate Darren Aronofsky.
Oh my goodness.
Brian, how dare you!
I haven't seen it either, but maybe I'll watch it just so I can, I can understand your review when you review it.
I would love to talk to Brian about it after watching it, but I guarantee you he hasn't seen it.
I've only heard of it.
All right, let's get this
because I had heard of it.
Let's get this show rolling. We have a couple things to discuss tonight, and we're gonna start with a little boxing thing that dropped today. Much to many surprise, we got our first official trailer for Creed 3, the Michael B. Jordan directed Creed 3. Brings back Tessa Thompson, co-stars Jonathan Majors. No Rocky Balboa, Sly Stallone this time around, which I think it might be time for the franchise to mature and move on from the character, because he played two very crucial, important, incredible parts in the first two films. But it's Adonis's time to shine. We need to give Adonis a chance to shine on his own a little bit here. Jacob, I'm gonna start with you because I got some thoughts on this trailer. What did you think of the Creed 3 drop?
I liked it a lot. The main thing that makes me so curious about this movie is Michael B. Jordan directing.
Yeah.
Because is this like, oh, okay, I'll direct, or is it like I want to be a director? This is my first chance at directing, and I have high hopes for him because who do you work with a lot? Ryan Coogler.
Sly. Oh,
Yeah,
Ryan
and
Coogler.
Sly.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Obviously, Sly too. I mean, Sly's directed a ton of movies, so like, I think that it could be not a ton, but like he's experienced director. So I think working with him and working with Coogler, learning different skills from each of them, has kind of set him up for this. And you know what I like about it? It's a personal story, but also it doesn't really up the scales necessarily of the other two movies. It's kind of a lower.
It's closer to home.
Yeah, it's closer to home. I don't know if they're fighting for the championship by the end or whatnot, but either way, it's not like they're getting grander with the storylines. They kind of took a step down and like you're telling a more grounded story, and I like that. So it looks good. Jonathan Majors can do no wrong. Like I've only seen him in The Five Bloods and in Loki, to be honest, but I'm loving him and everything I see him in. So looking forward to it.
So I have very, very, very much loved the first two movies. I don't know which one's my favorite. I still think the first one is probably my favorite. But the second one to me it's just as good. There's some incredible moments in,
really good.
And to do what they did with that movie, with the Dragos and everything was great. This trailer shows the movie that I wanted this franchise to be after the first one. And I don't mean this in any particular way, but I had kind of always hoped that Sly or Rocky stepped out after the first. Like he did his due diligence, right? He was there for one movie. Not let the franchise rely on him a little bit too much. But I also didn't want the franchise going in a direction where it's just following the steps of the Rocky movies. Like, okay, so the second movie, right, was Drago's son. I didn't want, this movie being related to Mr. T in any way, or, like no relation to characters. And as far as we know anyway. But I love the fact that instead of trying to go all out and make a big third movie, which is more than likely going to be its last, you never know, but more than likely, they're not upping the scales as far as like the opponent or connecting to something from the past or whatever. It's a childhood story for Adonis. It's a character who was in his life 18 plus years ago. And this character now is coming back and he has something to prove. And he thinks Donnie's in his way. And now he's got to protect what he loves, what he has, his name, Rocky's name, etc. And I love that he's doing it on his own. I don't know where Rocky is in the world. He's obviously not dead.
I think he's dead.
I was going to ask that. Where do we think the character went?
No, they wouldn't. They would never kill Rocky off screen. They would never kill Rocky off screen. There's no way that's happening.
I mean, they did.
But I think
immediately after saying his name.
I don't think there's any way that you kill Rocky off screen. I mean, maybe they kill him in the movie somehow, but I don't think there's any way you kill Rocky off screen. I think Jonathan Majors is a perfect adversary for Adonis Creed and Michael B. Jordan. I think he obviously is a very huge physical presence, but he's also an incredible actor, just as good as Michael B. Jordan. He brings a certain gravitas to the film, a weight to the role. And what's funny is that this movie was filmed a few years ago before Jonathan Majors became like the it boy. And it's coming out at the perfect time where he's the it boy. So I think the movie looks great. The movie looks great. I think it has a very high ceiling. I'm a little bummed it got pushed back until March. It didn't come out on Thanksgiving because I thought Thanksgiving was the perfect release for it. But an early spring Creed 3 movie sounds awesome. So
That was one thing I was thinking about. I was wondering if March is like
you
gonna.
know why, Brian? Because it's going to come hot off the heels of Jonathan Majors and Ant-Man 3,
Wow.
which is
that's
in
true.
February.
That's true.
That's a great point.
Bang for your buck, baby. MGM goes, oh, wait, he's playing the villain? People love him? Let's push this movie.
That's fair. I didn't think about the fact.
It's a smart move by them.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it looks phenomenal. Like it looks great.
Ryan, haven't you only seen the Creed movies, right?
I've seen
Or is that
everything.
not true?
I've
Oh, you
seen
have? Oh, but
all
you
of them.
watched it though, like recently, right? Like back when you lived with Jake and stuff.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Okay, yeah.
What did you watch? You watched the
I
first
watched
3 or
all
4
of them,
Rockies?
Rocky Balboa for whatever reason.
No, you should have watched Rocky. You should have.
I
Watched
heard that
5.
one's
You
pretty
should-
good.
You should have watched Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa is awesome.
I've seen all of them but that one. All of the Rockies and all of the Creeds. I went to the movies with you guys to see Creed 2.
Yes, you did. Dude, March 23 is stacked.
What
Sorry,
else
Brian. I
comes
don't mean to
out?
cut you off, but let me go and bring this up. So, coming out the same weekend as Creed 3 is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks later is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. A week after that is John Wick Chapter 4, and then a week after that is Scream 6. Like March 23 is stacked.
Wow.
2023
That's not that far away either.
No. I'm so ready for 2023's movie slate because 2022 was pretty lackluster in my opinion.
Well, 2022 started off super hot.
Yeah.
And then once June hit, it just went shoo.
Yeah, like there hasn't been like outside of Black Adam and Wakanda Forever, like there hasn't been something that's like really like driven me to see a movie.
The Woman King is the best movie in theaters right now. Go see it.
That's fair. That's good. I never did see Bros. I didn't want to see Bros, but like 2023 is going to be freaking wild. And I'm glad because I was not apprehensive about the movie, but like the way they could have easily just stopped after the last one, the way it kind of played out. But this looks good. It looks like I'm definitely more confident that they're actually like gonna put out something really good. And Tessa Thompson looks phenomenal as always, even though she probably will be in it like 15% of the movie.
What? Dude, no way. She's gonna be in it so much.
I hope so. I mean, she's
Donnie's rock, man.
I just wonder how much they're gonna spend like outside. Like she'll obviously play that one part where it's like he is struggling and she's gonna come talk him up. And then like I just wonder like what else other than that is what.
Gio, you're the man right now. I love that.
Nice.
I love that. That looks so glorious. Chug, 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 chug. Come on, Gio.
Dude, that looks like a Fred Flintstone mug right there, man.
Wimp.
This is a man that
wimp. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Where's mine, Gio? What the heck, man?
You're on mute, Gio.
People.
God. There we go.
I mean, not relevant to Creed 3, but okay, Instacart. I leave instructions. I leave a gate code. I even leave as you're approaching to meet you outside, and yet you drive past me twice. And then when you finally find me, you decide to parallel park just to drop off. You're in downtown. Double park that, and then just drop off. Anyways.
What do you think about Creed 3?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I mean, when I saw the set photo of Jonathan Majors training at looked like Muscle Beach, honestly, in California, Venice Beach, if anybody been there. But like, dude is jacked, and I gotta assume that this franchise's Mr. T with an element of warrior, except they're not brothers by blood, but they've obviously known each other for so long, and then they finally come face to face in the ring. Like I'm all for it. And I was curious too, like what kind of story could they possibly tell without completely being like the previous Rocky movies, right? Like then the fact that Stallone is retired from the Rocky character, he flat out said it. He's done. He loves the direction that these Creed movies are going and all the faith in Michael B. Jordan. This will be a big test. We know what we're excited about. I mean, come on now. Jonathan Majors, like we want to see more of him, especially after, what he's done so far. Like that was a huge casting. And the fact that he's signed on, given the story that they want to tell, I'm encouraged. A little bit curious about how Michael B. Jordan will do as a director. Okay, I'm not saying he's anything from an actor standpoint. Okay, he certainly loves the franchise, deeply invested, and I think this could be one of those third entries that surpasses the second one. Nothing really wrong with the second one. It was okay. It was good, but I think with Jonathan Majors and the story, I think this one could definitely be a surprise.
Movie trivia, Geo. What is Clubber Lang's? Oh, I already said his name. What is Mr. T's character name? Damn it!
I would have got it too.
Damn
Clubber
it.
Lang.
Damn it!
What's your prediction?
Got ahead of myself. All right. Any final thoughts on Creed 3 before we head in?
It looks good. I just is anybody okay? So I know I expressed a little bit of concern with Michael B. Jordan and him directorial debut. Like, is there a chance in your guys' mind that okay, so the personal story between Jonathan Major's character and Michael B. Jordan could be great, but the fight itself, like, what will it need to do to not be formulaic? Should I say? You get
Like
what I
the
mean?
actual the boxing fight?
Yeah, like
You mean like the outcome not be formulaic, right?
sure, yeah, because you know how these movies go. Like they show the
Mhm.
first round or two, and then it cruises through the middle rounds, and then it goes to the end. Like I don't know, like would there be an outcome that you guys would be disappointed in? Like if they went a certain route, like not saying that's where it's gonna go, but if it went a certain route, would you be like, okay, we've seen that before, or like like
I don't. With me in boxing movies, like of course I love seeing our hero win. But honestly, when it comes to these type of films, it's the same thing with sports films in general. It's always for me been more so about the journey to the end result, whether it's a win or a loss. And I think the reason why is because of the original Rocky, right? Like
yeah,
he went through all of that and he doesn't win and he's still considered to be champion even though he doesn't have the official title. Like whether it's a baseball film, football, boxing, whatever, I'm always invested because it's not really about the end result. It's always about how the preparation of getting there, the journey to getting there, whether it be a single fighter like Adonis Creed or, a baseball team like the Peaches in A League of Their Own or the Friday Night Lights, the Permian Panthers, right? Like any of those teams, I don't care what happens. Like, of course I want to see them win, but at the end of the day, I don't care what happens. It's all about the process of getting there, of like what's happening with the characters, how the game or the match or whatever is going on. So when it comes to Creed 3, like would I like to see him win? Sure, great. But if it's an incredible fight and he goes through an incredible character journey up until that point, and it's an all-out brawl, but he doesn't win, I'm gonna be bummed. But I'm going to be like, you know what? I think that's okay. Because it's weird. Like, not that I can remember anyway, maybe very few especially with the Rocky movies, but nobody has really ever ended. If whoever's beaten our main character, nobody has really ever ended as like a super bad villain at the end of the match. They always respect whether it be Rocky or Adonis. And I think that's why I'm okay with it, right? Like, there's very few times where we see a team or a person win who's like, quote unquote, the villain or the bad guy, and they're an ultimate dick at the end of the movie. There's very few times. So I think I'm okay with whatever result is because of that too. So
Yeah, I was thinking about this as we were talking about it. Like, is Jonathan Major's character going to win this fight? And I could see that happening, but it seems like he said, you know, they used to be family. Now they don't. Now they don't talk anymore or whatever. I'm guessing this is after they, you know, there's a reunion. Then, you know, they fall apart and then they fight and then they work it out in the end. I don't know, but I could see his character winning the fight, to be honest. But I don't know if are they going to make up afterwards. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like it's going to end with them riding off in the sunset, running a gym together. Or like Adonis becoming a trainer and him now training his buddy. Something like that.
Yeah, I
Right.
can see that.
Go their separate ways, but have respect for each other.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely
kind
feel
of his manager in that fight because he's in his suit and he's like,
well, I think he's a gym owner of a boxer
he's
who's
fighting for
his gym,
team, right? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I think is happening. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, I needed another one shot like they did in the first Creed movie. Remember that one shot that
The
was
tracking shot?
Yeah, the tracking shot. Sorry,
yeah.
just how incredible that was.
Well, look,
like,
Brian mentioned it, or maybe Jacob did, but Michael B. Jordan, whether or not this is this, and to answer your question, Gio, just real quick, what was Sylvester Stallone's first ever directorial debut?
wasn't it Staying Alive?
As feature film, it was Rocky 2.
Oh shit! All right, I was a little late. Yeah, Rocky.
And which movie is widely considered to be the best of the bunch? Rocky 2. Just saying, right? Following in the footsteps.
Are you sure about that?
Rocky 2 is great, man.
Rocky
Maybe that's just
2
me.
Rocky 2 is great. The first one is such a feat, but people love the fourth one.
Drago.
With Drago.
Drago's great. Drago's great. So
the third has the best song.
Before we get too much into it, let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit and move into some Marvel stuff. Something that I hope everyone on this panel has watched. It's been a couple weeks here, but we have our first official ever special presentation by Marvel on Disney Plus. We have Werewolf by Night. It has premiered. It's available on Disney Plus. And we have, I'll watch it, I hope, on the panel. And we're going to talk about it. Directed by Michael Giacchino, a black and white film that kicks all types of major ass. I know it's considered like a short film, but I'm calling it a film because it deserves to be called a film. And it's the first ever of its kind for the MCU. And in my opinion, it's an absolute success. We're going to talk about it. I want everyone to give a quick 1-2 sentence little preview of their thoughts on it, and then we're going to break it all down. Gio, I'm going back to you, man. What did you think about Werewolf by Night?
Okay, quick. I love the concept. I want to see more of it in the MCU. A hell of a start with this first one.
Love it. Brian?
Mind-blowing.
Ooh.
Refreshing.
Ooh.
Promising.
Jacob.
Can I just open up the floodgates with this? This thing was freaking awesome. I absolutely loved this. It is better than all the MCU shows except WandaVision. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, if we're comparing against the shows, it might be my favorite of all of them, personally.
Yeah. And I'm saying I think it's like as good as WandaVision. It's hard to compare them.
I said this on Twitter immediately after I watched it. I want Werewolf by Night to be an annual October tradition in the MCU.
Yes.
Whether it whether it be about like his character or characters inside this world. I like, as much as I want them to obviously connect elsewhere, I would be absolutely okay if this MCU world stayed in its own boundaries. I would be totally okay with it because there are plenty of things to play with in this sandbox of where Werewolf by Night operates. The Bloodstones and Man-Thing and all of these different things that are going on inside this this movie. I will also add right off the bat that Michael Giacchino absolutely killed it as a first-time director.
Yeah.
Killed it. The black and white touch was brilliant. And I just thought everything about it was fun. They definitely played on the kind of just playful side of the MCU, but they played on a lot of horror elements, which we haven't seen inside the MCU. I know that everyone says, oh, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be the horror movie, but it's not. This plays on the horror side of the MCU. This is what horror in the MCU could look like if they continued it. And I thought all the characters were great. I thought the performances were great. I love the story, small scale, almost like I know it was kind of set up as a whodunit, but it's very much almost in the vein of something like Ready or Not, when they're hunting something.
Yeah.
Right. Where there's one thing that they're kind of hunting.
Feel like that.
But yeah, I loved it so much. I thought it was brilliant. And like Gio said, what a great start. If they're doing more of these, what a great start. So.
Absolutely, yeah. And I gotta say, I think his name's Gael Garcia Bernal. Bernal. He did such a great job. Like, so we watched the trailer, right? I didn't know who was starting it. I didn't know anything. Like, you couldn't really tell from the trailer. They didn't really show him that much. And the special starts, and I don't know anything about this mythology at all. So as it was unraveling, everything was a surprise to me. I didn't know he was the werewolf, honestly, until they revealed it, which was a really cool experience for me. And I mean, I think we're all going to point this out at some point, but a highlight for me was how violent they were able to get because of the black and white
so awesome
aspect of it. And it's like, I was like, oh, damn. Because I was like, we're not used to that in MCU, you know? No. And it was just like sword in the head, slit neck. And I was like,
I loved it so much.
Awesome.
The fight scenes were
the way
awesome.
They utilized it. Absolutely, yeah. So, but yeah, that's this Gael Garcia Bernal. He was awesome. Like, he was in that movie Old, the M. Night Shyamalan one, and like I do not like that movie, but I liked him in it. And so when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the guy from Old. And I'm so glad he got this role because he's really good. Yeah.
He played he voiced Hector in Coco. For anybody that was
interested. That's awesome.
Anytime I hear Hector, I think of Fast and Furious. Sorry.
Shut up, Gio. Jesus.
Oh, please. But when She-Hulk does a play on it, it's all never mind.
You don't think of Troy when you
really?
Hector? Come on.
Really, Gio? Really? Goodness. Drink your beer, Mr. Yacht House.
I absolutely loved this movie, if you want to call it.
Short film, special presentation.
We're calling it a movie. We're calling it a movie. It's an hour long.
It was absolutely phenomenal for something that had zero hype, like before the trailer. Like, I cannot believe how there are so many things that like you would think could be like a negative to this. The fact that they gave it like was it 3 weeks before it dropped? Like, they literally were like, oh, by the way,
the trailer.
Yeah. Here's your trailer for Werewolf by Night. It comes out in 3 weeks.
I mean, it was probably like closer to 2 months, I think.
No, it was not more than a month. It was quick. They had
we reviewed the trailers so we can see when that episode was.
They had someone who has never directed anything in his life directing this, and it was completely different than anything we've ever seen before in the MCU.
September 10th.
Yeah, and it came out October 8th, so about a month. I mean, like it was incredible. And like it just, I've watched it like 3 times and it's just so good. It literally is going to be one of the things I think now that I watch like every Halloween, because it can stand on its own. Like it doesn't even need to really connect to anything. You can literally just watch it and appreciate it for it being like a little spooky movie. And everyone that was in it are all phenomenal. Ted, love Ted.
Ted.
He's
I should
adorable.
use that word in my opening statement.
He's adorable. I honestly think I might be more excited about the monster like spooky verse, like
The
dark,
spooky verse.
yeah, dark MCU,
like that.
dark MCU like potential more than anything at this point. Like I honestly think like as of right now, if you were to be like, would you rather me set up Midnight Suns or Avengers? I would go with the Midnight Suns type stuff. Because I think, like, if they're doing crap like this with some of the characters they're about to pull, and like, you're going to go spooky, like, dark, go. Because, like, I wasn't a huge fan of Doctor Strange, too. Like, I thought it was okay. Like that wasn't the type of like spooky that I was expecting. This was kind of the spooky that I was expecting, and it's phenomenal. I loved everything about it. Everything about it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you bring up an interesting point. Like Sam Raimi, who's known to do horror, scary kind of stuff. I feel like Michael Giacchino had more creative freedom than Sam Raimi did, because when you watch Multiverse of Madness, you can tell which parts are Sam Raimi. Like it's clear, it's obvious. But then I feel like with Multiverse of Madness, he didn't get to go full on Sam Raimi, whereas Michael Giacchino, and maybe it's because streaming, black and white, the creative loopholes that they were able to find in order to display such violence and gore. Do you guys see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like, do you see something there, or am I just?
I still
tripping?
can't believe that there was a scene where someone's head got sliced into by a sword, like in the MCU, like that. My mouth was shocked. Like the blood being black and white, like that, I could like. I was like, that doesn't surprise me. That's a loophole that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally seeing her swing the sword and smash it into her head, and just like that type.
Usually
of
they'd cut away before it hit.
I was like, whoa, like that is completely something that I was not expecting anytime soon for them to do. And it makes me a little more like, okay, maybe we can see a little bit more violence when it comes to like things like maybe like Blade or Deadpool. I think it'll be a little bit different. I mean, you can get away with killing supernatural beings easier than like people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't expecting that. I think I was not expecting people getting torn apart, and like it was
really
wild. I mean, I did, but like there's always kind of that like Disney factor to me that
you didn't expect them to show it.
Yeah.
Like to that extent, like,
Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, like I still, and I get it, Disney's starting to slowly like push into that, but like it's still in my head, like, oh, this is still kind of like run by the mouse, like,
because it's been that way for so long.
If this is in modern day,
yeah, it is
in their world.
That's why that's the one reason why they showed color at the end.
why they showed color at the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, to your point, Gio, I really think the black and white is the difference there. Like, if Multiverse of Madness was in black and white, they would have had way more blood, but it would never be.
I don't know about that personally.
I think it would, but why would they make it in black and white? Like,
I think it's because I think black and white was strictly a creative option. I think I don't think it was set out. I don't think it was set out to be made to be like, we're gonna make a black and white Werewolf by Night. I think Michael Giacchino was directing this and saying, I think that this could be really cool in black and white. And I think the difference between the two is that Doctor Strange stays in the prime timeline of the Avengers and the storyline going on, and Werewolf by Night is a completely different thing. Yeah. So the freedom is only the thing that really matters.
Well, when they started making this, I think from the beginning they knew it was going to be in black and white. So like when they're writing the fight scenes, or they're shooting them, they know what they're able to do or not. So I think that enabled them to allow more bloody stuff in this movie or show, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. I mean, we'll never know, but I don't necessarily think the black and white dictated how much blood we saw. Because Disney Plus just put things like Logan and Deadpool on the service.
He said in a clip, Giacchino said like he was just saying more and more buckets of blood, and no one was saying no to him.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily think that the black and white is the reason why we saw more of it. I think that, I think it's just an evolution of what the MCU is whether it's Disney allowing them to do more, or
because this would have been a TV mature if it wasn't in black and white. Like it would have been. And so like
maybe
then the thing is they haven't had that much blood in an MCU show yet. So if they're allowing that, then why wouldn't they allow that in Falcon and Winter Soldier? Like I don't know, but
it just fits better here. That's fine.
I do also think, Gio, the fact that it's like a Disney Plus special presentation versus a theatrical big MCU movie, that has to do with it as well. But either way, like I don't even think Marvel knew how much people were gonna like this. Honestly, is it universally loved? Do you guys know?
As far as I know, it is.
Everybody loves it. From a critic standpoint, absolutely. From a fan standpoint, overwhelmingly. So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they're like, whoa, wait a minute, like we did not think this.
It's 90% on. It doesn't matter, but it's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's something to look at. But I'm curious, like what moves they make based on the success of this. Like, does it change?
Hopefully,
anything?
A second one.
Yeah,
I don't know. We haven't mentioned it yet, but I don't.
You know what the change is going to be is that they're going to start making a lot more of these special presentations. They're
already going to make one.
Exactly. I mean,
you know what the rumor is?
Yeah, Nova. Mm-hmm. So I mean, which I kind of don't hate, because like, don't get me wrong, I am never going to complain about the amount of MCU stuff because I love what they're pumping out. But take away a TV show, give me one thing that's going to last a couple months versus the constantly having something every single week. You're going to make me want stuff more. Like the amount of time we're about to have between Wakanda Forever to Ant-Man, like that's about 4 months. That's the longest we've gone for a while without
there's no shows in between, huh?
No,
is there?
No.
Interesting.
So, like, I kind of don't hate the idea of doing special presentations instead of TV shows. Like,
neither do I. I've already been thinking to myself, what shows that we've seen could have already been a special presentation? There's two that immediately pop into my head. One, I love the show to death. It's one of my favorites, but Hawkeye should have been a special presentation. And two, this might be controversial, but I think Moon Knight should have been a special presentation. Just in my opinion.
That one could have worked.
Moon Knight you could have probably gotten away with.
Because you're trimming the fat of what's happening. How many times over the last 2 years with Marvel Rewind have we talked about like, it's a great episode, but this part was boring, or this episode wouldn't have it too much, or like we could have cut this part out to get to here. If you're doing an hour to an hour and a half of just a special presentation, basically a TV movie on these characters, Sign me.
Is it crazy to say that maybe Loki could have been a special presentation?
You're
as
insane
well?
for saying that because
No,
it could not have been a
no.
special
Jacob,
presentation.
I-
That's the only
Could have
show that
been.
couldn't have been.
Jacob, I was
But I-
thinking that, but the amount of timeline stuff they have to set up for the future.
I guess you're right, and it's too important to the MCU.
That
right
and
now.
Wanda are the two
That's
that could
true.
not be special presentations. Those are the only two, in my opinion, that couldn't have been. All the other could have been found in some capacity. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier could have been a 90-minute special presentation. It could have been.
that one,
like, easily.
That one could have, yeah, definitely.
Like there's like all of these shows so far, except for Loki and Wanda, could have easily just been hour and a half. Maybe. I mean, I guess maybe even Miss Marvel to an extent. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think
It
She-Hulk
was
could have
only
been,
6
though,
episodes.
because-
She-Hulk.
No, because they were going for the sitcom feel, so you can't do that in a presentation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I mean, you can make a comedy movie, but
Yeah,
I know.
true.
I know what you're saying.
yeah.
No, but I'm all for it, man. Like I think, especially with a character like Nova, who, if he's going to be introduced on the small screen, there's no way he's staying on the small screen. That dude is a movie character if I've ever seen one.
Big
Mhm.
time.
He is a space cop. He is essentially what Green Lantern is for the DC universe in very different ways.
How valid is that rumor? Is it?
It's just a rumor.
I mean,
it's just a rumor.
Him getting something is pretty solid.
Well, his show's already confirmed, or a project, I should say, is already
Oh, a
confirmed. We
project,
don't know what it
okay.
is.
It's just a
We just
matter
don't know
of-
what it is.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like what they do with it.
Gio, shut up with your little smirk. Just go away. Just go
I
away,
mean,
Gio.
It'll probably be an hour-long special presentation.
I hope it is because we're in my opinion, we're probably already going to meet Richard Rider as Nova. We
Yeah.
don't need an origin.
That I think this might be a very unique case where it absolutely works because you're probably more or less going to get, like Jake said, an established Nova because the Nova Corps is essentially gone.
He's the only dude left.
Yeah, like the Nova Corps was destroyed and taken out.
I was gonna ask
Was
that.
it?
Like, do you think it happened
it was,
during
Gio.
that
Stop it.
time,
Was it?
or was he already Nova when that happened?
I think he probably was off where
Off world. Off Xandar.
and when Xandar got taken out, and
Is Richard Rider from Earth?
Yes.
yes,
So then he would have already. This would have happened a while ago. Like he became Nova.
You can kind of look at it almost, it's very similar to like Star-Lord in a way. Different type, but
Yeah,
comes from Earth, is a space dude. You know, he doesn't come from like alien.
like he's from Earth, but his majority of his
Yeah.
stuff is in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's very
Okay.
much a Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's essentially Marvel's
Ooh.
answer to a Green
If
Lantern.
he comes back to Xandar after that and then sees it destroyed,
We're gonna see all that. I don't think there's any way you tell a Nova
That
story
would be
without seeing the
crazy.
destruction of Xandar. There's
There-
no way.
You
There's
think we
two-
see Thanos in that?
Yes, or
I-
like him from a distance or something.
Yeah, that.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that there's
yeah.
two ways you play that one. He either already has the powers,
Mhm.
or something. The Power Stone might have been something that triggered the destruction of Xandar. If you want to actually play Origin, that just like he got his powers maybe through the Power Stone when it was
Mhm.
destroyed. More than likely, they'll probably already have someone established. Although Nova does have a pretty rich story that you could use.
Mhm.
Although it's kind of similar to like the Kree, but
I think they're probably going to change it to fit what the MCU's. been
oh
telling
yeah,
already.
they absolutely will. But everything that they can do works very well for a special presentation like that you can kind of set up. Like
Yeah. I
you can
agree.
absolutely get away with probably a 6-episode TV show, but if you're gonna make phenomenal crap like Werewolf by Night, why not? I mean,
Agreed. Question, or not really question, but more so comment because we haven't talked about it or her.
I was.
Can we get an Elsa Bloodstone Werewolf by Night next year?
She's phenomenal.
Anybody?
She's great.
Yeah.
She was my
I'm
favorite part of the
totally
whole
down.
thing. She was
I
my.
mean-
I want an Elsa Bloodstone special presentation next year.
She was basically the lead of this. I mean,
She was
her
so
and the werewolf.
awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
No, she was great. She was great, and I love. Maybe my favorite part is when she gets the keys out of her aunt's.
I was just
tombstone,
thinking the same thing.
and she gets that little latch thing, and she's like, "That's
Yeah.
not bad." And she saves. So she has that little latch thing. She has the
Mhm.
stone, and she's a badass.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, she was great. Honestly, I was just looking up the actress Laura Donnelly. I haven't really seen her in much, but she was really good.
She's not the lead of Outlander, is she?
No, she's not.
My mom watched
She
it.
is not.
My mom would watch if the Outlander crossed over. She was phenomenal. She and Elsa Bloodstone's a relatively new comic book person, so like I can imagine like them creating some dope stuff for her. I mean, she's a badass in this to the max. Like, give her a backstory that you could show. I think it'd be awesome. But
She has her own comic line.
yeah,
She was first introduced in 2001.
yeah, she's. I mean, and in comic world, that's still new. 20 years,
Newish, yeah, but she's probably had a lot of story.
She plays with Doctor Strange a lot.
She
Interesting.
Anything Midnight Sun, she's like all over that type of stuff. She's in like they put her in every video game, like Marvel video, like the phone games and stuff. Like she's always
those kind of games.
Oh yeah. She's always a character in it because she's a weapon slinger type character. So
is she kind of like the Van Helsing of the MCU in a way?
Which is why
that's one thing I loved about this.
She's like Kate Beckinsale in Van Helsing.
Yeah,
that's what she is.
Like there's monster hunters in the MCU, and they it's like a competition among them, and they all have reputations and they tally up their kills. I loved that, and I mean I know Kraven's not going to be in the MCU, like in the proper MCU, but like I could have totally seen Kraven at that meeting. To be honest, I could have totally seen him there. But when you guys say like you want this pocket of the MCU, corner of the MCU, whatever, to like stay contained, do you mean like you don't want to see Blade interact with these characters?
Oh no, I absolutely do. I want
them to stay in their own little sandbox.
I do, but I don't want them inside the Avengers, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't need I don't need them. I don't need Elsa Bloodstone traveling to a multiverse fighting Kang. You know,
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I Blade like Blade fits for me because Blade is a much bigger character who gets wrapped up in all of that. Yeah. But I don't need Elsa Bloodstone or Werewolf by Night.
Can Blade go like back and forth to both?
100%.
Like both stories. Yeah. I think so.
He really is. Him, Black Knight, and a few others are really the characters that Ghost Rider. They teeter between the two. They fit in both very well. Because they played with both set of characters a ton in the comics throughout history. They all like, and same with Strange. That's what Doctor Strange does too. He kind of teeters between the two as well.
I think Strange is the only like main Avenger type character that we will see like interacting with these characters.
I think Blade will too.
Yeah, well, Blade. Yeah, we haven't met him yet.
I could see Strange being the like liaison like of things, like
the Nick Fury of the supernatural world.
Yeah, kind of like not actually like getting his hands dirty, like fighting with them, but like setting things up or letting like
he could like put a team together and say good luck.
Like honestly, Brian, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Blade after that Eternals post-credit scene.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I personally,
it almost feels like he's putting a team together.
I almost personally, I'm not going to lie, kind of don't want Doctor Strange anywhere near the like
Midnight Suns. Neither do I.
Yeah, I personally,
I don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't. If you were to ask me right now, like, would you want him? I would go no. I would rather it be the Blades, the Moon Knights, the Elsa Bloodstones,
Black Knight.
What? Yeah, Black Knight. Like all the like
Ghost Rider.
set up this stuff. Like I don't need.
That's a team of 5 right there. Blade, Moon Knight, Black Knight, Elsa Bloodstone, and what'd you say? What else did you say? You said
Moon
one
Knight.
more.
Say Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah. I mean,
Man, Ted and Werewolf.
oh, wait, no, we said Moon Knight. Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider. Sorry.
And
Ted.
Yeah, I just think that there's so much potential. I mean, if you want, you could even kind of like, I mean, it's kind of a cop out. I would rather them be called the Midnight Suns, but like call them the Dark Avengers. Like,
Why not?
I mean, that'd be kind of dope. Like, I get that it's really different in the comics. Like, the Dark Avengers are like the bad guys, but it'd be kind of sick to call these like
They're gonna
the Dark Avengers.
They're gonna call them Midnight Suns because the video game's coming out, and people are gonna know what it is.
Probably.
It's a good
So
point.
they're gonna let people play the video game, put it out in the public, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh wait, you played that game? You saw that? Here's the actual Midnight Suns on screen." Boom.
Yeah.
Kind of what they did with Miss Marvel on it.
Yeah.
already.
I mean, and look, we're getting a Thunderbolts movie. I wouldn't be surprised in about 4 years if they announce a Midnight Suns movie, because by that time we're gonna have Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstone, Blade, probably Black Knight. I would imagine he's going to be in Blade in some capacity. Maybe a Ghost Rider cameo tease, whatever. Maybe Clea Brian. I don't know. Maybe she pops in there.
I think that whole thing.
Could you imagine if she was in Midnight Suns?
I mean, I tend to think magic is going to be very much separate.
Oh, I agree with you. I was trying to get
I mean, there will be magic because obviously there's certain like the Ebony Boy.
I mean, it's hard to avoid because that's all connected in a way.
Everything's connected, but
demons and hell and Satan and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally about to get Mephisto, that's magic.
We said that 2 years ago, so.
Well, it's pretty confirmed right now.
I mean, was he referenced in She-Hulk? Maybe.
He's been referenced in every single show been released.
No, he's
literally every single show.
According to the viewers, yeah.
It's for sure happening. He's going to be the one that gives Anthony Ramos' character the magic guns in Ironheart. That's exactly what it's going to be. So I'm more excited about this supernatural universe than.
Well, let's just hope they take advantage of it, because right now there's nothing majorly on the slate outside of Blade, and Blade has been a number of Marvel projects have been pushed back, but there's nothing major from the supernatural world coming our way anytime soon. So hopefully they stick with it because it's working. It's working. I mean,
yeah.
Moon Knight was great. That's supernatural. Werewolf by Night was fantastic. That's supernatural. I think Blade's going to be phenomenal no matter who they get or what they do.
Moon Knight when you were listing off a roster for Midnight Suns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I think that would be pretty cool. Like, wow.
And it kind of almost makes more sense. I could see Moon Knight interacting more with these types of people.
He's not an Avenger.
No, I agree with that because I honestly don't see Moon Knight like fighting in like Kang Dynasty. Like that doesn't fit. Like
maybe he pops up, but I don't see it personally.
But I agree with you guys. Like now that I think about it, can you imagine like that movie poster with with Oscar Isaac, Mahershala Ali? It's what's his name?
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington, and then Elsa Bloodstone. Like that would look so badass. And you have Man-Thing and
with someone as a Ghost Rider, like a Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider, or Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
I honestly don't know who I would want between those two. I go back and forth.
Honestly, I don't need either. I don't need. I can find a million actors to play Ghost Rider, and I'd be happy.
Just have Ghost Rider show up, and he never turns back to human form. It's
just be the Skull the whole time. Yeah,
exactly. But I want to say before I forget, I love the way the werewolf looks. It looks so much like an old school horror film werewolf. Like they could
practical effects, man.
It was pretty practical, right? They could have done a CGI werewolf, but they didn't, and I love that. And then obviously Man-Thing is CGI, so it's kind of a good balance. And I also want to know, how does Man Thing eat sushi? Did you just pick up the little tiny piece of sushi
For
and
sure.
it just goes like this?
Probably.
Or he just gets a bunch of sushi
Got a mouth underneath the
one at a time.
and then like
one at a time.
eats it with a straw. Like
We haven't talked about it too much, and I know we don't have too much time, but I love the fact that we all got trolled thinking that those were TVA agents.
I know, right?
They're just a little.
And I was all
protector
expecting
security
it too. I
guards.
was like, "Where are the TVA agents?"
They're just little security guard people who got eaten
Yeah.
alive essentially by a
Hey,
werewolf.
her mom had to go, man. Her mom had
Her
to go.
stepmom.
stepmom.
Was it her stepmom?
Her
Yeah.
stepmom.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh, how about the scene with the dad? By the way, the dead dad. Great,
What was that?
great.
I'll be rotting.
That's like an old school mummy movie, man. That's great.
I loved that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It made me want to go watch The Mummy with Brendan Fraser all over again. Is what it made me want to do. So,
Is there
Yeah,
anything?
you definitely got
anyone-
those vibes.
I'm curious. Is there anything anyone didn't like?
It's a good question.
honestly, not really. How fast some of the people died.
Yeah,
The fact that
I
it was
guess
too
so.
short.
yeah.
I needed an hour more of it.
Gio, do you like everything about it, or is there certain things you?
I mean, my expectations were so low that it exceeded everything. So, not that I could think of. Maybe if I watch it a second time.
I
Watch
will
it a second
say,
time.
I mean, did we get enough mythology on the werewolf himself? Like, I mean, they talked about him a lot, but
No,
I don't
I mean
know.
they definitely didn't. I mean,
I left wanting more, I guess.
they did leave a lot of mythology on the table, like the literal bloodstone. I mean, they did explain it, but like,
Yeah.
I'm sure, I guarantee you that will be something major at some point. I mean,
He'll get a backstory at some point.
yeah, and
He's a pretty big sized character.
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big sized older character.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. He's not like popular right now, but he used to be.
Yeah,
I'm curious, like, was he like walking around in the comics, like talking to Captain America, or was it not like that? Like,
well,
I
he
don't
goes-
think
was
so.
it pretty separate?
can go back and forth between human and not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And also, I know that Moon Knight appeared in Werewolf's comic first, right?
Moon Knight is essentially was a villain to Werewolf by
Yeah.
Night's comic. He was,
Yeah, I have
yeah.
the cover right here.
yeah.
You
That's
haven't
pretty
had-
cool.
He was essentially Moon Knight was essentially made as the villain trying to kill Werewolf by Night, and then he ended up just being this dope character that people wanted to see more of because he looked cool. And yeah,
That could
They
be
fight.
how
They fight multiple times too.
that could be how Moon Knight joins Midnight Suns. Like, he's trying to track down, for some reason, he's trying to track down the werewolf and kill him. And the rest of the team is like, no, stop. Like, and then he joins them.
I mean, it makes sense. And I mean, Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell clearly knew, like, has been this werewolf for a while. Like, he was friends with
Mhm.
Ed. He said that monster on the wall. He's like, we had our moments or whatever he
Mhm.
said. So like, he seems to be well.
Well, when
Here
he
we
was
go.
talking about family, he called Ted like one of his family members, like not blood, but just like they're that close.
So keep in mind that they are technically still monsters, and
Mhm.
they're hunted monsters. They are essentially the prey.
Yeah.
Look at this cover.
Yeah. Wow.
It's awesome. The MonsterVerse is awesome in that.
That's really cool.
That's Elsa Bloodstone on the left.
Yeah, 3 characters that we got in this special presentation right there: Man Thing, Werewolf, and Elsa.
yeah. She's
Who
always
is that?
Brian,
in
who's
the white-
who's the woman with the sword? Who is that?
I do not know.
Oh, might be Blade's
Yeah.
daughter. Is it?
Oh, it might be Blade's daughter.
I think it's Blade's
Might-
daughter. I was
That's
wondering who
actually-
the woman is behind Moon Knight.
It is Blade's
Oh.
daughter, Star.
Nice.
Yeah, that is Blade's daughter.
X-23, and then, who's that woman in the white dress with the candle? She looks creepy.
I have no idea.
Annabelle.
Right.
That's so, dude. Man Thing looks so good.
Kind of
in
looks.
the show,
I'm trying to
in the
find.
movie.
I'm trying to find the characters on the cover.
She kind of looks like the character from The Runaways, like the one that holds the thing. But I'm not.
Oh,
sure.
somebody mentioned her in the chat. Nico.
Oh yeah.
It might be her.
I mean, it's
Wait, which one's Werewolf?
the one on the left.
And then
Do you
who's
know
the
which
guy on
other
the
you
far
know which
right?
other character operates in this world, you guys? One of the greatest characters ever created?
Tons.
Morbius.
Agatha.
Oh,
Morbius.
Morbius.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Jared Leto inside the MCU.
There we go.
I mean, it could be so cool. Like, I mean,
I second this, Andy. I second this.
there's
Andy
just,
says, going back to earlier, the tracking shot with Jack going ham on the guards might be my favorite shot from the NC. The scene that we thought was TVA agents, actually.
I mean, you literally, yeah. Where is it? I'm not used to doing it on my laptop.
Oh, your
Like-
video quality is pretty good for a laptop, Brian.
Oh, thanks.
Not bad.
Like, look at all these characters that you could use in this. Like,
I was literally looking at the same image. You know which other character is actually technically a Midnight Sun? The Punisher.
yeah. Like- Look at how many you have right there.
Ron
There's
Bernthal, baby.
Bring
so.
him back.
I mean, you have
You
Ghost.
got a Spider-Man back there.
You do have Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, the punk Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Oh
which
my god,
one
the
it
dude,
is.
the black magic dude in the back. What's his
Oh,
name?
Brother Voodoo would be
Brother
so.
Hey,
Voodoo. Yes.
Mr.
He's
Knight,
so
Moon
sick.
Knight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you literally even have Iron Fist on the left.
Oh my god, is
How
that
many
a Ghost
Ghost
Rider
Riders?
Thor? That's a Ghost
How
Rider
many
Thor.
Ghost Riders are there?
There's a bunch of.
A Ghost Rider Thor? What the hell?
I thought there was only one Ghost Rider spirit.
What you see Iron Fist in the left-hand corner?
Yeah, he's just chilling.
He's just hidden away.
I mean, there's just
Wow.
so many.
Like, this is getting me really excited for this aspect of the MCU, to be honest.
I'm like, let's hope they stick with it. Let's just hope they
Yeah.
stick with it because I know that projects can be announced left and right, and they have a lot of stuff that hasn't been announced yet. But I hope that they're not doing it as like a one-off and they kind of stick with
Well,
it.
you know
and
how Universal was trying to do like their monster verse or whatever. The MCU
Marvel's
can do their
Marvel's
own.
gonna do it first. Yeah,
They're gonna do their own. Yeah, which is crazy.
Marvel's definitely gonna do it first.
You know who is
Um,
one character that plays in this sandbox that I would love to continue seeing is Magic.
mhm.
Hmm.
Do you know who
Bring
that-
back Anya Taylor-Joy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But would you guys? That's what I was going to ask. Would you want Anya Taylor-Joy? to play the
Bring
character?
back
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
She was
She's perfect for the
phenomenal.
role.
She was the best part of that
perfect
movie.
for the role.
I'm all for that.
She's perfect.
So-
All right, gentlemen. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our Werewolf by Night discussion tonight. Plenty of more chance to talk about this in the near future. We can preview, predict, do some. It'll definitely pop up in our tier ranking of Phase 4 once we see Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Heads up for next week. If anything crazy happens, obviously it'll be the main topic, but it'll probably be a very heavy DC show next week. Some DC stuff was announced this week that we're going to talk about, as well as we're going to be reviewing Black Adam, which we are seeing on Thursday night. So that'll be Tuesday's show. Check that out. And we hope to see you guys all there. We'll do some quick plugs before we wrap it up here. Gio, start us off. Where can everyone find you online?
Yeah, real quick, I gave you guys this now because next week. You can find me on Twitter at InsiderGeo and my separate channel, Fandom United. I will be interviewing Mr. Sean O'Connell once again from
Yay.
cinemablend.com. His upcoming Spider-Man book. So he graciously gave
That's
me
not
an
DC.
advance copy. Nope.
You cover Marvel
But there
stuff,
will be
Gio?
some
Wow.
DC talk in there. So yeah, thanks.
Of course.
Mr. Avalosino.
Be Valsino on Twitter and Instagram, and no Marvel Rewind anymore. Andor
For now.
Mandalorian Club. You can check that out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were doing tomorrow. So I was like, tomorrow.
And Jacob.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Jacob Bartley824. Fantasy football season is going strong. You can check me and Gabe out. My buddy
Is it?
Gabe.
Is it?
I'm
I mean,
23.
it's going. I should say, fantasy football season is
It's
going.
just going. It's just going.
Not going strong. First round fantasy on YouTube. Got a YouTube channel with my buddy Gabe. Come check us out. Of course, Jake is our producer over there as well. And Bartley and Barnes,
Yeah.
we did our September show. We're going to do an October show, probably that first week of November, like where it starts with the Monday on the 31st. We'll probably do it there. So check it out. And Jake, tell you something that's going to make you very happy. Requiem for a Dream is only an hour and 42 minutes. There you go, buddy.
God. Thank God.
And it's on Prime for
Thank God. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake. 2 N's because someone else took it before I did. All the links to our social media and other channels are all in the description, everybody. If you are interested, we would be so if you'd be so kind, we would appreciate if you'd head over to those channels. Just give it a quick subscribe. You can unmute us for all we care. Just give it a subscribe. Like, comment, do all that good stuff. We really, really appreciate it. All of you who've been watching live this whole time, we love you guys. Thank you for joining us each and every week as we ramble on and talk total BS with each other, acting like we're really professionals at this when we're not. So for all of us here at Apocaflix, we hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you guys next time.